my mom had found this product and called me and said, you gotta try this. You have to try it. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying it. Eat right, Mom, go to the gym, exercise. That's, you gotta get with the program. And so she kept telling me, just try them, just try them. And so when I finally learned that this was more about hormone balance than weight loss, right? We see the weight loss because that's what we post. It's easy to post before and after photos of someone who's lost 40 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever. But the real intent of this product that you're going to hear tonight is hormone balance and body balance. And so when I realized that, and I realized that they were all natural, completely homeopathic, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to die if I give it a shot. So I tried it. And within a couple of days, I would say by day 3, the first thing I noticed that I was so mellow. Like, my kids, date on the daily normally. I'm like, you better stop it, I'm gonna choke you. Stop fighting, like they rattle my nerves. And I just noticed that they were not changing, they weren't doing anything different, but I felt different. I was not rattled so easily. I felt mellow and relaxed, and I'm like, okay, I can get with this. And of course, Eric was like, this is great, this is wonderful, you're so happy and chill. And then I noticed that I started sleeping better, and then the hot flashes went away completely. Like, I have them no more at all. And then my sister showed me a photo of she and I, they came to visit me like the week that I started the drops. She showed me a photo side by side of me and a photo of us that week, and then like 3 weeks later. And it's astounding, the inflammation difference in my face. And I didn't even know. Like, I wasn't looking in the mirror that day we took that photo, like, I have all this inflammation, where did this come from? I didn't really even know that I had it. But when I got on the product and I saw the side by side, I was like, holy cow, like, that's crazy. And so I have noticed huge changes in my life from the drops, from other products in this amazing company. And I cannot help but share them because they really are life-changing. And you're going to get to hear from a couple other people as well how they've changed their life. And it's just one of those things, like, I had no intention of signing up to sell something or anything like that, but it's so good and it's so beneficial that I cannot help but tell people about it and share. Like, if it's done this for me, it can do it for you. And I have so many friends and family that have taken their health back, they've lost the weight, they've gotten off their medications, like, the list goes on, and it really is changing lives, and it's all natural. That's the best part to me. Kelly, I want you to share your testimony, your story.
Okay. Do you have my photos?
I do have your photo. What do I do with my phone? Here it is.
Actually, someone's here.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, yay.
Awesome. We can wait.
Yeah.
She's.
So while she's doing this, I'll just say, I've known Kelly for years and years and years. She was one of the first people that came to our church when we started our church in a hotel room, like 13 years ago, 14 years ago. She and her family came, and we have been like family ever since. Her daughter Mercedes is my very, very, very best friend, and so they are family to me. Hello, come on in. How are you?
Sorry about that.
Oh, you are fine. No problem. We just started.
Jamie and Paula.
Hi,
Nice
guys.
to meet you. I'm Lindsey.
That's Dr. Kristal, this is Lindsey.
Hi. Come on in.
Robert, Melissa, Susan.
Nice to have you guys. So Kelly's going to share her story in just a minute, but I just wanted to say that it's been so amazing for somebody that I know and love so much to see her health journey and see where she was and where she is now. It's mind-bending, and she just has such a passion for these products because of what they've done for her. So go ahead and share.
Well, for my health more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because it was April 15th of last year. I was at my granddaughter's birthday. And I saw the picture of me. You know, I always wore dresses. I couldn't wear pants. My butt, I used to make all the fat jokes about myself before anyone else could. And my butt was so big, I could not wear pants at all. I wore dresses, and no one could really see how fat I really was. And I hated myself. You know, I couldn't play with my grandkids. I couldn't run. I would get out of my car, sliding out of my car, afraid to touch my feet on the ground. Whenever I would first get up, I would start walking like I was in severe pain because of whenever I fell off my roof. One of the side effects is the nerves in my feet. So I was in severe pain. But anyway, after me seeing that photo of myself at my granddaughter's birthday, I hated myself. I hated myself. And so when she said that, she came to me and she said, my mom is going to let me try these drops. And I'm like, please let me be your guinea pig. I don't care. I don't want to wait.
She made me sign up to sell.
Good job, Gal. Good job.
So I started taking, and I would only eat once a day. I was that big, and I would eat once a day, thinking, okay, if I don't eat it all, one time I went a week without eating because I thought, okay, if I restart my body, you know, I would lose weight. I did not lose 1 pound, not even an ounce, the week that I went without eating. So she gave me the drops. She gave them to me. So she gave me the drops, and after about 2 weeks or a week? 2 weeks. I looked like I had lost a person because most of it was the inflammation. We think that we're really large or we're really heavy, but most of it is your inflammation in your body. The number 1 cause of disease is inflammation. And so I was losing all the inflammation. I started eating more. I told her, I said, I'm not losing any weight. And she's like, you got to eat more. And whenever I read it, I thought I couldn't have more than 1,200 calories. And then if you read it, it's like have a minimum of 1,200 calories. So I like to snack. I've turned into a nut freak. I would eat some pistachios or pumpkin seeds, whatever. And I started losing weight. I started feeling better. I could jump. Jamie, you've seen me. I could jump from the back of my truck. And I'm not hurting anymore in my feet. I feel better. I can play with my grandkids. I feel completely better. I'm not... I was in the hospital all the time to where my husband would make jokes and say, you know, might as well go up there. I'm sure they're waiting on you. And I haven't been to the doctor in over a year. I feel completely healthy. I used to sweat. I'd have night sweats really, really bad that I would keep my air on 60. And now I have 0 night sweats. I don't know what to tell you. I just feel so much better, and these drops are 100% natural, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
Very good.
I love you, Kelly.
Very good.
It's so awesome.
I've lost a whole person, though.
Yeah.
I've lost 100 pounds.
It's so incredible.
Notice how that's the last thing she told you, because it's great. Everybody
That's the
wants
side
to lose
effect
weight,
is losing weight.
but it's how she feels and the things she's able to do that she wasn't able to do, and all of that. And you can sit down. That's important to know. That sometimes we have people that get on the products that are skinny. They don't need to lose weight, but their body is all lacked from just the way they've eaten their whole life, just the world we live in, right? And so they still need that hormone balance, and that happens for them. So I want you to remove the weight loss part from your mind. That happens if you need it to happen. But it's not just for weight loss. So as we continue tonight, keep that in mind. Thank you for sharing, Kelly. Melissa, do you want to share a little bit about you talked to us about what the drops have done to you. How do you feel? What did you notice with the drops?
Sure.
Sure, yes. Come on up. Go for it.
Hi.
I'm Melissa. So I'm a little bit newer to the journey. I actually, about 3.5, 4 years ago, I did a different weight loss program, and I lost 118 pounds in a little over a year. But when I wasn't quite to my goal, but decided I was gonna take a break, go on maintenance, and everything was fine for a while, and then life happens, like it always does. Holidays would come, and a few more pounds would come on. I ended up getting pregnant and having a miscarriage, and then my hormones were massively out of whack, and then the depression, and like just food was my comfort. And even though I knew it wasn't the right thing, it's what made me feel good in the moment. But then I would be so much more just discouraged with myself because I was gaining more weight and I couldn't get it off. So when I finally got to like a good head space where I'm like, okay, I have to get back onto this, I would do the same thing. I would eat nothing but salads. Like that's it. I was walking a mile every day and the scale would not change. I tried to go back to the old weight loss program that I did and like nothingness because my hormones were just like way out of whack. I needed something to fix it. And I kept seeing Lindsey's post and I was intrigued. And then I saw Kelly and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And she said the body balancing drops and she was like, come to my house. So I did. She sat me down at her counter and she's like, try the drops. She made me a little smoothie with some coconut milk. She was awesome. And I'm like, okay, I got to do this. And it has been amazing. The weight wasn't the first thing that I noticed, although I did lose. Like the very first week, I lost 4 pounds and 3 inches. But it was, for me, sleeping through the night. That was huge because I wasn't sleeping through the night. I was on melatonin, double dose of melatonin, and I'm completely off of it now. Which I do the drops and the Renew. So I know the Renew also helps with the sleep. The night sweats are completely gone, which is amazing. The energy level within, I would say like 3-ish weeks, I just had so much energy, like I needed to do something. So I joined a gym. I haven't been to a gym in 7 years, but it was like I just needed to move. So they are amazing. Like I love them. There's so many things on the inside that I can feel that's fixing, and the weight is coming off. So I know I'm gonna get there. It just takes a little bit longer.
Yes, awesome. I'm so excited for you, Melissa. Thank you so much. Melissa is also a brand partner. She has signed up to partner with the company. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. How do I work this clicker?
Just
Which button?
to the right.
Okay. All right. So the company that we get these products through is called Partner Co. And I love our little symbol. You see how it's meant to be like 2 hands partnered together. And that really is what this company has become for me and so many others, is our partner in wellness and health. And so I have chosen to partner with this company, and I will say this, I have done, and I'm going to let Dr. Kristal talk a little bit more about the business aspect in a minute, but I have done another company and made it pretty far in that company. I did really well, was earning trips and all the things, and I will say that this is like nothing I've ever seen, nothing I've ever heard of. They truly care about people, and they are truly changing lives. And that's what I love about it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We have more than 80 products in our company. I brought some with me tonight just to show you. So again, the drops is what we post. The drops is what you see, that hormone body balance is kind of where it starts. But we have all these other we have products for everything, and they're all natural, and they are all of the highest quality you can imagine. Anything from, of course, weight loss, increase of energy, stress support, athletic performance, woo-woo for the gym, clean energy drinks, one of my favorite products, collagen, better sleep, immune health, reduce inflammation, nutrition, all the things. It's amazing. And I want to add, I always forget to say it whenever I share my story, but I have an autoimmune disease called myasthenia gravis, and I had symptoms for a long time, even though I take medication for it and all of that. Since I have started our products, and I take several of them, I literally forget that I even have it. I mean, it's unbelievable what it has done for me. Wow. So we have different boards that are part of our company. So there is Dr. Ray Strand. You can Google this man, and I recommend that you do it. Find him on YouTube. You can get lost for hours in his teachings, and it's so eye-opening. He takes a holistic approach to medicine, so he still has a practice. He's treating patients that have all of the diseases we hear about on the daily. He uses many of our products to treat his patients, and it's amazing to hear his stories of how they have helped people. So there we have doctors. There's Dr. Kristal. Does she look familiar? We have a wellness counselor council that consists of doctors and scientists and all the things that are over sort of all of the products that we have, and they make sure that they are up to a certain standard. And this is another thing I love, is that we have had the opportunity as a company to purchase other companies or products from other companies that could make us a whole lot of money. Like, they could be really successful and make a whole lot of money for our company, but our company has said no because it didn't have the quality or the standards that we choose to stand by with our company. And so I love that about it. Like, it's not about money to them. They truly care about excellence and quality, and they care about people's health. So we have over 215 published clinical studies, over 1,000 annual quality tests on all of our products. In other words, the ingredients in our products and things like that are the best possible form that you can get in any product. I love this. We have an athletic council. This is Kristen White. She's a CrossFit gym owner, so we have a little heart-to-heart connection there. Pretty awesome. So a lot of people ask, and whenever I first started posting about the drops, I got this question often: couldn't I just follow your food plan and lose weight? Yes, you could. You could follow the food plan. You would get healthier. You would lose weight. But with the support of these drops, studies show that you can lose it twice as fast, which is amazing. So they're all natural, safe, and effective, hormone-free, natural GLP-1 stimulator, insulin resistance reset. So we're resetting your body altogether. Clinically proven and doctor recommended. Homeopathic body balancing drops. They help balance the hormones, curb the appetite, increase your energy, increase metabolic rate, improve your mood, support your thyroid, and help to stabilize your blood sugar, which is awesome. So people want to know how you take them. These are them. You can kind of see how they look. There's 2 bottles. You take the first one 10 minutes before your 3 biggest meals. You wait 10 minutes. You take the second bottle before breakfast and lunch, and then you eat. And they're no magic pill. They're not going to magically make you into a new person, but they're going to support your body as you follow our food plan, and we reset your system and balance your hormones. Dr. Kristal, I'm going to have you come up and continue. I want her to talk about, you notice on my ad, every time we do a drop talk, I always call it hormones and health, because for me, it's so important. Like I said, it's not just weight loss, right? And people want that quick fix weight loss, but the weight loss is just a side effect of balancing your body and balancing your hormones. And there's nobody that explains it better than Dr. Kristal, how these actually work, why they work, the ingredients in them, what they are actually doing with our bodies. And so, put your hands together for Dr. Kristal.
I'm glad that you do so incredible. I'm like, oh, I'm learning all this stuff. I love it. And your stories and your transformations. Like, I know there's a doctor in front of my name, so I come up here and she does this big introduction, but like, when I get up here right now, I really am just Kristal. So I was over 300 pounds with a doctor in front of my name and could not figure out what was going on with my own health. So you'll see my before and after photo here in a minute. But I've been autoimmune issues since I was 5 years old. And so I was given steroids monthly, quarterly, my entire childhood, teenage years. And then I realized this stuff is not helping me. The thing it does is make my hair grow. And outside of that, all that it does is then balloon me up. So if you've done a Z pack or a steroid pack, you notice how there's 10 to 15 pounds that come at the end of it, but we just kind of chalk it up to winter. We're like, oh yeah, that sinus pack I took for that sinus infection, I'm up 15 pounds. And it's like, it's actually the steroids. It wasn't winter. You're not a bear and we're not in hibernation. But we don't realize that steroids increase our cortisol, and cortisol is what is driven, it drives hormone imbalance. And so all those years of me getting those steroids just drove my hormones totally out of balance. Now, that list you saw of all those different things up here. Weight gain is just one symptom, like she said. Like, I had all of these things, but my entire life, the only one I ever focused on was that weight gain. It wasn't even the weight gain, it was the scale. It was the number that I stared at when I stepped on and I had something in my brain that needed to be, and that was not that, and I was gonna do whatever it took to get there. I can lose weight, right? You're like, I lost 118 pounds. I did it once, I can do it again. Like, it's the most resilient mindset of people who overcome and drop weight. But here's where, at least for me, I don't know how to keep it off, and I'm tired of doing this. It's a lot of hard work to lose 100 pounds. So congratulations. No matter how we do it, it's a lot of work. But gaining it back is like self-deprecating. You, as you said, you start to not love yourself. That's not okay. Especially when it's a chemical reaction. It's not a weakness of personality. And I didn't think that. I was like, I'm broken. Why am I craving all of this sugar? Why is it all I want to eat? And I want you to know that I ate myself there. Yes, the hormones got out of balance, but I ate myself there. It's lifestyle choices. When I was working out, and I did volleyball all through high school and junior high school and collegiate, and I coached, and I was active. But as soon as that piece went away, my body did not have a fighting chance, and it was all uphill. I did 2 half marathons and gained 20 pounds. Like, and I would go to the doctor and have the blood test, and they would say, well, good news and bad news. We did your test, and everything's normal. And I'm like, I'm not normal. There's something not normal here. Can you please help me? Clearly something's going on. About 6, almost 7 years ago now, I made a decision that I was only going to do healthy things for my body. Now, I say that now with 80-20% mentality. But at the time, I was like, if it's not healthy for me, I'm not doing it. So I started to look, and it was like, of all of the meal plans that I've ever done, what's the one I had the most success with? And I'm like, anytime I pulled sugar out significantly, I always had great results. But I was craving it. So I was like willpowering, strongholding myself through it. Or going and working out and killing myself so I could have it anyways. I'm like, okay, so let's pull the sugar out, and I'm just gonna go to real food. But I was like, let's do keto. Well, it didn't take me very long to know that eating a pound of bacon is not healthy for me, right? So I'm like, okay, we're gonna ditch that. And then it was like, clean keto. Okay, cool. And I found this place inside of clean keto eating, like basically this, minus the fruit, because it's sort of like the Garden of Eden. Don't eat the apple, you're gonna gain weight, right? Like, you can't have an apple doing keto. And that always bothered me. I was like, why can't I have fruit? Like, God made it for a reason. So I'm eating this way, I lose 100 pounds. I'm like, I've got it. Sugar is the devil. I'm not gonna eat it anymore. I'm not gonna have it anymore. I'm gonna have my Arby's roast beef sandwich. I'm just not gonna eat the bun. That's how I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna be awesome. And I have a nutritional line with a product called Limu. It takes off. I'm feeling good. My self-image is going up. And I'm like excelling in every area of my life. The peak. But we all know there's always a valley. So here comes the valley. The owner of the company that I'm telling you about this nutritional product calls and says, we're gonna sell the company. I'm like, you're gonna do what? We're gonna sell the company. And I'm like, so you know I just sold my practice of 18 years to come do this full time with you? And he's like, yeah. I want to make sure that you can have really great success. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm stressed. But I'm making it through it. I'm doing the work. I'll work hard, right? We're all work harders. I go to put on my pants, and they don't fit. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? I haven't changed anything. Everything's the same. what's going on? I'm eating, like I haven't added anything. What's going on? Why? I was up 20 pounds. So I was approaching, I had got into Wonderland. Everybody, if you don't know what Wonderland, it means you've never been over 200, okay? Because once you see 100s again, you're like in heaven. And I am now approaching 200 again, and I'm like, no. I worked too hard for this. I even bought myself diamonds when it happened. I was like, I can't, like, this can't happen. And the next thing you know, I'm like, there's clearly, this wasn't about keto. Like, but I don't know what else to do. There's something else going on here. There's something else at play. These are the patients that walk into my room and say, I did everything you told me to do and nothing's changing. And I'd be like, sure you are. You're eating bonbons in the back room. I know it. Calories in, calories out. That doesn't work. We've all eaten lettuce and gained weight. Like, that's not true. And so I needed to call, for the lack of a better word, I needed a little BS, call a little BS on this whole process of how we deal with food. Because there was clearly something I was missing. Well, remember how I said they sold that company? Well, the new company had this box of products sent to me because they're like, we have this wellness council. We would love you to be a part of it, but you need to know our product line and we want your weigh in on it. And I'm like, great. Now, I'm pretty skeptical. I'm from Wyoming. I'm not quite Beth Dutton, but I'm a little cowgirl, okay? So I'm sitting here and I'm going, looking at this box and I'm like, well, that's actually good. Wow, that's really good. I love homeopathy. I had a homeopathic practitioner in my office. I'm like, this is good stuff. Like, okay, God, thanks for the box. So I started it. I started working with one of the Wellness Council doctors. The first month, I lost 6 pounds. And she's like, so what do you think? And I'm like, I only lost 6 pounds. I'm not that excited about this. That was not a win in my book. And she's like, but tell me all your non-scale things. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not totally really still buying in. And she goes, let's tune up what you're taking in. Because this is actually a chemical reaction. This isn't a mentality, a diet mentality. This is science meets nature. So I need you to do exactly what I say, because if you do, we get the chemical reaction. I'm like, oh, well, that's different. I'm like, okay, explain. She says, when you eat these foods, they're low glycemic foods. No sugar and low glycemic are two very different things, because if you go no, your body forgets how to do things, like break down sugar and move insulin. And so you become insulin resistant. Now, insulin resistant is not a good thing, because when you become insulin resistant, what it means is that all of the little receptors on your cells, think of a little kindergarten sun, round pokies off of it, right? That's your cell. What ends up happening is all those little pokies get full of insulin. That's what insulin sensitivity is. It means all the pokies are full. You just keep eating all that sugar. I'm going to keep storing it in the fat. And all of a sudden I put on more fat. Or we're not going to let that T3, T4 in because insulin's in the way. We're not going to let that whatever T3 helper cells, estrogen, progesterone. But there are different chemicals out there that will make insulin fall off of those pokies. Have you heard of them? Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, metformin, Janumet. They're diabetic medications. That's how a diabetic med works. It makes the insulin fall off all the pokies so that all of your nutrients and stuff can go back in. The problem is as soon as you stop taking the diabetic medication, guess what goes all back on the pokies? The insulin. And so you go right back to the situation that you were in. Now, she goes, this is the chemical reaction we are looking for. I want you to eat low glycemic for 90 days. That means I want you to keep your blood sugar here.
And every time you take bottle 1, you're gonna keep it here. But if you eat something that's high glycemic, you're gonna spike this, and the insulin's gonna go back on the pokey. But if you'll keep it here, that is gonna start to let your body function correctly. It's gonna start to take care of itself. We messed it up. It's gonna start to fix itself. It's like, oh, finally, you got out of my way. So here's your blood sugar, here's your mood, here's your digestion, here's your thyroid, here's your sleep, here's your hormone production. Like everything comes back here. But I didn't say it happens in week 1. I said it happens over 90 days. That's the life of a cell. Most of our cells re-replicate in 90 days. So if somebody calls me on week 3 and they're like, well, I'm eating that way, but that's what I was doing to the doctor when she's like, let's find out what's going on. Well, what was going on is, guess what's not low glycemic? Creamer. I was putting creamer in my coffee. And she goes, it's okay. There's modifications for everything. For the next 90 days, would you use almond milk or coconut milk? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. Was it the same? No. Actually, I don't even like cream in my coffee now. It's so funny, my taste buds totally changed because it's sugar. Dairy breaks down to lactose, which feeds sugar. So when I was doing keto, guess what I really was doing? Meat for dinner, cream cheese, cottage cheese, string cheese. I was using cheeses as my vice. It became my crutch. And so all of a sudden I was like, oh, no cheese. Okay. I'm going to have to actually eat fruit. I'm going to actually eat nuts and seeds for healthy fats, avocados, broccoli, carrots. I never in my life ate carrots on hummus. My whole life changed in the matter of months. Things that I had worked years to accomplish, but when I was using the drops, it seemed so much easier. They were working with me and having my body work for me instead of me fighting and struggling with my body. So over that next month, I lost 20 pounds. I was like, whoo, okay, I'll do that again. So I pretty much found a groove of what I had for breakfast, which was a protein shake and 2 eggs, and my shake had all of my nutrients in it, a handful of frozen strawberries, and coconut milk. And that was my protein shake. That was my breakfast. Mid-morning, I had half an avocado, and I had macadamia nuts. Lunch, I had chicken and a salad. Mid-afternoon, I had pecans and the other half of the avocado, because it's going to spoil. I don't like that. We don't want that to spoil. In dinner, I had meat and veggies. Crock pots were, that air fryers became my love. I was eating so much food, and I was drinking tons of water. So we say sweat or wet, right? So it's like you need to drink it or you need to sweat it to get the toxins out. That's how we get fat and those overproduction of hormones out. So when I show you this slide, I want you to know this isn't just for 90 days. On the other side of this, you're going to have a really incredible lifestyle of how you choose food. Something switched. I don't want Reese's cups. I really look at them and go, I'd rather have those almonds. Because the chemical reaction took place, and all these years of insulin driving my system is no longer what happens. You guys, that was 6 years ago. I got it off, I kept it off, but my hormones are a totally different thing. And I don't even have food noise. I live my life in food noise. I don't even think about food. I literally have timers that are like, hey, eat, because I can get busy because I'm not craving it. My stomach growls though, so that's a good thing. So there are lots of people who have had success. We started a Facebook community a few years ago, a little over 2 years ago. I started it with my 6 girlfriends. There's close to 60,000 people in there now. And all of it is word of mouth marketing. One person tells one person tells one person. And so it's become a really great community. Kristen owns a CrossFit gym there in Tennessee. But Ursula is a mom of 6 So the drops really work at burning visceral fat. And now we have a new product called Advantage that goes with it. And it turns your brown fat on to burn your white fat. So you know how you find those stubborn areas that no matter what you do, it's not changing? Like for me, it was my arms, my leg. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I still have saddlebags. I'm doing all the things. Nothing's working. Advantage has helped. But this is month 1. This is month 2. This is month 3. Look at the change in her belly. That's stress. That's hormones. That's cortisol production from having 6 children. She chose it. Okay, I'm just going to say she chose that stress. But she doesn't have to have her body broken down because of it. She does club ball with her kids, so she lives on the ball fields, but she's able to use the drops. And they actually do these drop talks at the ball fields now. So the kids go play and the moms go over and do drop talks. We all have hormones, men included.
Yep.
Okay, we all, like, we're the ones that carry the babies, but we're all making babies, okay? So we all have hormones, but I'll have women who are like, I've had a hysterectomy, these won't help me. Sister, we got 8 more organs that are, like, struggling, trying to help us out. So we have 9 organs that produce hormones, and every function in your body comes from a hormone. So blinking, breathing, sleeping, crying, digesting, everything begins with a hormone. And if your digestion gets off, your hormones are off. And if your hormones are off, your digestion is off. And then we learned all these things about digestion. Our mental health is there, our immune system is there. So if our hormones are off, they're feeding all of this. So they're not a miracle, they're a chemical reaction that we can get in our body in 90 days. So here is his change. I love Alan. Again, another guy from Tennessee. We've got dad bod turned into father figure, is what I say. He's like, it still blows his mind when he sees his pictures. This is Misty. She's out of Florida. This is 90 days, or 6 weeks of her cortisol belly going down. But look at the difference in the inflammation in her face. Because hormones drive how our lymphatic system works, and so whether your body is pushing off the fluid or not. I shared Julie's story because she was pre-diabetic, so her numbers were over in the 10, but they were like, it's genetic. You're genetically predispositioned for high cholesterol. So they're telling her there's nothing she can do to get on these meds. Now, what I want you to know is you don't get on a med to ever get off it. They know when you go on a med that there's another med they'll have to give you for another symptom that comes from the med you're taking. So getting into that world of taking a pill to fix something, your body is so intelligent, and it will, like, if we give God a chance, our bodies will take care of themselves. And this is what happened. She saw Tammy Maltby post on Facebook, a post that we pre-made to share the story of the drops. She saw it, asked to be a customer and just buy the box of drops at a customer price. So she took advantage of Tammy's savings that she offers. Tammy orders in a bulk of them so she gets a better price, and she sold them to her for $160. And then the next month, she was like, hey, do you want to tell other people? And she was like, no, I don't. I don't want to tell anybody. Tammy's like, all right, don't tell anybody. Keep using them. So she did. Come November, look at the difference in her. The weight doesn't even seem like that much. It's 30 pounds. But look at the difference in her. You can see the glow, right? You can see the inflammation. She's no longer pre-diabetic. She's no longer on any cholesterol meds. She has her entire life back. But what happened is right after this, Tammy said, would you like to pay $30 to get all of this nutrition at cost? And she's like, oh, that's all I have to do? That's all you have to do. I thought I had to buy all this money and all this stuff and all these things. She's like, no, it's like you could just purchase from yourself at a discount. But if you want to tell other people about it, you can generate extra income. And she's like, sure, I'll post. People need to know about these. I'll post those posts for a couple weeks. Well, a couple weeks turned into over a year now, and she stays at home with her 5 kids that she homeschools, and she's making over 6 figures. And she's like, it's the healthiest thing I've ever done for myself because I'm a doctor's wife, and I felt like I didn't, like, it was like, what am I doing with my life? I mean, yes, I'm raising kids, but I was going to raise kids anyway. Like, when my kids leave, what do I have? What can I work on? What does my life look like in the future? And she's like, now I know I get to help people. Your mess becomes your message. Well, look at this fancy lady. So this is her sister and brother-in-law. He's a physical therapist. These were the ones that were laughing along with her mother, saying she was taking sugar water. She clearly was not. There was something that changed. But when I see them, I don't go, wow, they're unhealthy.
No.
But we get unhealthy from the inside out. You don't know what someone's happening on the inside, but there's plenty of thin people that are a hot mess. No different than the heavy that are. Our bodies just show up differently. But look at the difference in the inflammation in her face. So here's Ashley, and look at Josh. They just look healthy. Like, it's so incredible to see the change. Your family is amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
And there you go. There's me. So I have lost a little over 160 pounds. Had I known this shirt was going to go all over the world, I would have chose a different outfit. But that day I wasn't thinking, okay? This is only about 270 because I never let a picture be taken at 300. I wasn't even going to get on the scale to see it. I was afraid it would air out. It took me almost a year to lose the 100 pounds with keto. It took me 6 months to lose the 20 I gained back and the additional weight that I lost. That was me in July of 19. I'm actually thinner now than I was in that photo, and I've kept it off. But here's the thing, I didn't have to use the drops the entire time. I used them for about 6 months, and then I slowly came off. I always have them with me because if I feel my blood sugar spike, I take them. Because I'm like, why wouldn't I? Why do I want to get all the way backwards? They're just a healthy tool for me now. But I love Advantage. I just used Advantage for a couple months, and my results were crazy. It just destroys white fat, and that white fat is where we store the insulin. So the best thing that I can say about this is that's my parents.
Love them.
My mom's A1C was over 12. She was on 19 medications. She had no thyroid. She had an ablation, blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, you name it. We put her on the drops. They finally paid attention. I should say my dad finally became helpful. He was fighting her the whole way, and he finally was like, you know what? I need it just as bad as you do, so let's do this together. Finding a buddy always makes it, right? You guys are like, it's so much easier when you have someone to support you and be accountable. So they did it together. Those are the meds she's taking back to the pharmacy to get destroyed. They're down over 300 pounds together, and she's no longer diabetic. 5.1 A1C. She's doing, I think her A1C is actually better than mine right now. So it doesn't matter how young you are, if you're genetically predisposed, or if it's just life and just stress. You can take your story and you can change it, but you also can make a difference in someone's life. And that's what I want to talk about. Menopause is hard. It is a hard thing. You don't lose 60 pounds in menopause or after menopause. Like, you could eat that way and you still wouldn't get results. But when you add the drops, you see the difference. Now, I knew Karen. I met her 10 years ago at a hotel in Cabo San Lucas. We were at a pool. And I was like, we just started talking. We became friends. We became Facebook friends. And we have followed each other for 10 years. She's seen my whole story. Never asked me about the drops. Why? Because she's 5'11" and a size 0, and all I was sharing was my story. And then we got and made this social campaign, and I started talking about hot flashes, and I had other people's stories were being shown. She's like, why didn't you tell me these were for hormones, too? I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, I soak the bed every single night. I have to wash my sheets every single night. You guys, no more hot flashing. So she tells one of her best friends, who then uses the drops to lose 60 pounds in 4 months after menopause. So no matter where you are, I believe that every single person should do 90 days of the drops to just let your body reset, how your body deals with insulin, how your body builds muscle, how your body creates ATP and energy for you to go out and live life. And there's no better time than right before lake season and short season and swimsuit season, and there's never a better time to feel better.
Could you, he's got health problems, that's why I wanted them to come.
Okay. Well, I think everybody has health problems.
What is it that you have?
I have an aortic, I have a bicuspid valve that I replaced with a porcine valve.
Okay. So certainly inflammation that goes with that. That was sort of my mom with the AFib and having to have the heart ablation and the medications that she was a part of and on. So I want you to know you're safe to use the drops with whatever medications you're using for that situation. But you said it, what drives inflammation? It's actually insulin resistance and sugar. And so if we can change how our body is pulling in the nutrients and the absorption and not being blocked by insulin, your body just has a better chance to heal and to push that inflammation out. And when we push inflammation out, that's when our bodies start to heal. So what I love about this is we're restoring function back to your health instead of us going, take this magic drop, it's going to fix you. No, no, no. Take these drops because they're going to start to support your body while you do the work of the low glycemic. Keep out of your lifestyle the things that spike and put you back into that inflammatory state. And then once you do that, it's crazy what the body will do for you. So there's 3 different ways to get the drops. One is get them from the person that invited you. So there is, we buy them in bulk, and I'll share that here in a second. If you went to the website, it's $200 for a box of drops, which, I mean, there's people paying $1,200 for a shot, a month's supply of Ozempic. So it's still relatively price-wise. I just paid $170 for a pedicure and manicure, and I was like, wow, I could change someone's health for that. Things are getting expensive around here. But on average, we will share our savings, and it's about $160 for a month's supply. But what I highly recommend, just like we did to Julie, and she said, no, I'm good, and we're like, we don't think you understand. We're not expecting you to become an entrepreneur. We're saying save yourself some money like you do at Costco. So you pay a one-time fee of $29.95, and it allows you to purchase from the website any of the nutritional products. So there's perks that go with it, but it allows you to buy the packs. The packs, a 4-pack, is the equivalent of buying 3 boxes and getting a box for free. So if someone's going to do 90 days, they're going to need 3 boxes. And along the way, if someone says, what are you doing? You look different. You are acting different. You can say it's $160 and put that profit in your pocket. But I'm going to come back here. So what I was talking about my girlfriend seeing is right here it says social media launch. We teach someone over 3 20-minute sessions how to share pre-made content and answer with sentences that sound like a normal person. It's not spammy because no one wants to be spammy. No one wants to be salesy. We want to inform people that this is out there. And what we know is over 7 days, the average person will have 10 people listen to this. You'll have the average 10 people reach out and say, I feel like you. Tell me how to get those drops. I want this. So you get to help 10 people. And that's what I'm like, I get to use my story to inspire and help other people now. But what I love about this is this allows people to get started on their health journey. I don't ever have to have someone say, I don't have the money to get healthy. Because I don't ever like that feeling of putting someone against a budget to be able to get healthy. So over that 7 days, the 10 people is gonna net you somewhere between $500 and $700 of profit, which means you could get your drops for free. And some people will go do that in advance. They're like, just teach me how to do it. They'll put it out on social media because they're there anyways. For 7 days, they post those posts, and then they're able to come in here and order what they need. So if they have 10 people reach out, well, now they're buying 6, getting 4 for free, so they make $640. But if they were gonna buy 4, and they were gonna do the 7-day social, that means they bought 14 boxes. Well, that's why they created this 30-pack, because you buy 14, it's just you get 16 for free instead of 5. It makes a lot of sense, and I love that, but there's $2,500 worth of profit. Now, this person typically continues to post more than 1 week. They'll do it for like a month. And over that month, we teach people how to, or they do something like this, in-person event, or we even have people do Facebook Live events. What we call it a drop talk. But this system really helps people to have some success. So whether someone wants to just use it themselves, try it out, or if you want to pay the $29.95 and get the savings, do, especially if you have more than 2 or more than 1 using them. And then the third is, this company is incredible. And this is their first, they're only 2 years old. This is their first product that they've ever formulated themselves. The science on it is insane, and it works. It's called Advantage. As I said, it burns brown fat, or makes brown fat burn white fat. But they're gonna put a focus on the athletic performance part of the company. So over this next year, you're gonna see multiple products that are specifically athlete driven. So it's fun. And this is the products that the younger generation, because they are very health conscious and they're very health focused and they want natural. So this uses grains of paradise. It's a seed that comes from Africa. There's no stimulants because we don't allow any of that junk in any of our products. So it's just fabulous how it works. So that's the new product. I highly recommend putting your drops with that. You won't believe your results. So that's all I have because it's that simple.